Okay. Ultra full power Frieza. Been waiting a long time for this. Let's see. Push your foes to the brink with powerful death beams. Ultra Final Form Frieza full power joins the fight. Strengths. Fire off Death Beam multiple times with the active gauge. He has the Beast Gohan active gauge and you can use it multiple times. The active gauge fills over time and when you use blast cards. Consume 40% of it to activate a Death Beam. Actually, let me just quickly double check. Is he's got to be a range type then, if that's the case. Let's see. Ranged. Green! Okay. I think that's good. Just get UI Goku out of here. This is good. Get him out. You'll nullify special cover changes when you do, and you can even combo into arts? Huh? You can combo. Okay. Number 2, brutal combos using the unique gauge. Activating a death beam when the gauge is full will let you nullify element disadvantages and penetrate endurance. Starting with a death beam will boost your ability to KO foes. This sounds interesting. This is just completely... We've never seen this before. Number 3, high defenses. Frieza has endurance. Okay, that's a homage to the original full power Frieza, the yellow one. Plus high defenses on top. Upon entering the battlefield, you recover health and reduce your opponent's ki by 30. And when you're hit with an arts attack, the cost of all the enemy's arts will go up by 15. Strike fear into your enemies with the Emperor of the Universe's full power. Final Form Frieza full power green. Obviously, Frieza Force, Transforming Warrior, Lineage of Evil, Powerful Opponent, and Frieza Saga. Z ability is Frieza Saga or Lineage of Evil. No Powerful Opponent, huh? Okay. 42% of base blast attack and blast defense. If tag Lineage of Evil, 5% ultimate/awaken damage. So I'm just trying to think of like a powerful opponent setup, because right now the setup that you run is Ultra Cell, Saiyan Saga Vegeta, and then I guess this guy now, right? So you're going to run a green-green-red team. It's a green-green-red team here. Yeah, damn. I was hoping... Because Frieza Saga or Lineage of Evil, right? He's not buffing the rest of the team. Is Ultra Cell buffing a powerful opponent? Let me just double check this. I believe he is, but let me just see. With his Z ability. Yes, he does. Okay. Ultra ability is Lineage of Evil. Okay, they didn't do powerful opponent. Damn, they couldn't have given like Cell. Dude, they gave Cell androids for his Ultra ability. Where is it? Yeah, oh wait, yeah, right here. Android. So Cell has androids, and Full Power Frieza has LOE for his Ultra ability. So, yeah, it's going to be tough to get that team to be cohesive, right? I mean, you got to put I mean, I assume Frieza's is going to clear Cell, but I imagine you probably just sacrifice, because this guy doesn't, this guy has to go in leader because of the Z ability. I'm just thinking about the powerful opponent team. This guy's got to go in leader slot, because he doesn't buff powerful opponent with a Z ability. So this guy goes in leader, you get the Z ability applied to everybody, you get his full Ultra ability active when he's leader. So you're sacrificing Cell's Ultra ability is, I guess, what's going to happen. Okay. Strike has armor, so charge in without fear of enemy blast arts. And the blast gives you 5% to the active gauge, which sounds pretty good. Imagine Beast Gohan just gets like active gauge built up for attacking. Special move. On hit, increases all enemies' damage received and reduce their health restoration. Will even inflict extreme bleed. Okay, so this is obviously the Death Slicer. Massive damage on activation, special move damage plus 30%. On hit, inflicts enemies with extreme bleed. All enemies damage received plus 30%. All enemies health restoration minus 50%. Okay. All enemies health restoration down is pretty good. Green card. This is a long range. No, it's a melee green. Yeah, that's right. It was a melee green. Charge the unique gauge on activation. On hit, you'll inflict all enemies with subcounts, letting you land combos on a specific enemy more easily. On activation, he's getting 10% health, 50 ki, 20% unique gauge, damage plus 30%. On hit, draws a card, all enemy subcounts plus 2. Yeah, you are just kind of locking them in. This way it doesn't get covered all in this. There's two ways they do these kinds of green cards. Like, whether it's an AoE green, a long range green, or a melee green, they all have to have either cover null or they lock the opponent in. Because this kind of is just pseudo cover null, is what this is right here. But yeah, this is I mean, him getting just the unique gauge from just using this. So in melee range, like, you can just miss the green and you're still getting unique gauge from it. So, and you're healing from it too. Ultimate, destroy your opponent's entire hand on hit and also seal their blast arts. Supreme damage, 50% ultimate damage, penetrate endurance. On hit, destroys entire enemy hand. Seals enemies blast arts for 10 counts. All enemies sub counts on switch plus 2. Blast everyone charging forward. Okay. Yeah, destroying their whole hand and then sealing their blasts is pretty good. So what is that? Like, does that play? I'm sure, does that play around like anything in particular? Not really. I think I would have preferred if it sealed strikes, but its sealing blast is still just nice, I guess. All right, so main ability charges unique gauge by 100%. Okay, and even gain 1 Dragon Ball. Draws the ultimate, 20% health, 20 ki, unique gauge plus 100%, 1 Dragon Ball, and then enemy's Dragon Ball -1. It's like a mini version of the original Yellow Demon King Piccolo, who would steal 2 Dragon Balls. I'm actually going to take a look before we even look at anything else. I'm going to look at what his unique gauge does, because I think a lot of this is going to hinge on that. Oh yeah, there's the active gauge too. I'll actually do the unique gauge and active gauges first. Let's just see what these do first. Activating a death beam. Okay, you know what? First, let's do the active gauge first. Consume 40% of the active gauge to fire a death beam. Special cover changes will be nullified on activation, and it does damage on a hit. You can even combo into arts. Using it during a combo is good, but starting a combo with it is also powerful. With at least 40% active gauge on tap. Activate Death Beam, 5 counts of cover null. On hit, deal damage to enemy. What is the Beast Gohan wording? I have Lineage people pulled up here, but let me just pull up Beast here. Just want to see what his wording is for the active, because this is the only other active gauge we have in the game is Beast, so... Let's see. Not that. Active gauge when full. Yeah, so this is obviously going to be different because the Death Beam is not a screen-wide attack. Whereas Beast Gohan's, it says it targets the entire battlefield. Deals supreme pierce damage. And then Frieza's is just deals damage. So I don't expect this Death Beam to be like incinerating people, right? It's not going to be a special beam cannon level active gauge, but they're wanting you to like build up the active gauge and use this like 4, 5, 6 times in a fight. Inflict enemy with heavy bleed, and then you just combo off of this. Charges gradually while not defeated. So it charges even when he's not on the battlefield, and then of course you get charge when he uses blast cards. Consumes 40% when Death Beam activates. Yeah. I mean, this to me, you know what this is? This is like a ranged green that deals damage. It's what this is, pretty much, right? It's a ranged green that deals damage. Okay, let's take a look at the unique gauge here. Activating a Death Beam when the unique gauge is full will nullify element disadvantages and penetrate endurance. Combos that start from a Death Beam will be even more devastating. Okay, attack type. When unique gauge becomes full. So this is a just use cards to fill the gauge up, right? Yeah, charges slightly each time an arts is used. Slightly. What is that wording? Who else has an attack gauge? Who else has an attack gauge? Kid Goku. Kid Goku has one. Attack type. It's the same as Kid Goku. This is quite slow, so we'll see if Frieza has any kind of amplification on his unique gauge. It said that he gets 100% on it when he uses his main ability, too. When unique gauge becomes full, 10% health, 50 ki, 20% damage for 20 counts, which is uncancelable, but it's also stackable. Active gauge plus... Oh, he gets 30% of his active gauge when you fill the unique gauge, which probably means you're going to be able to use it right away. Cancel attribute downgrade such an... Okay, so I see what they're trying to do here. You fill the unique gauge, and then you reset it by using the Death Beam. But this itself gives you 30% of the active gauge every time. So you fill up this gauge by attacking, you get active gauge from filling it up, you use the active gauge, and then you reset to get a card, type neutral, and endurance null. I see. Now the question is there going to be charge rate up for this? That's what I'm looking for now. All right, starter ability. Frieza has endurance, gain a massive 300% boost to damage and 200% boost to damage guard. He'll even start the battle with the active gauge at 30%. Okay. Okay, so yeah, 300% damage, 200% damage guard, key recovery plus 50%, draw speed plus 1, blast arts cost minus 5, special move arts cost minus 10, active gauge plus 30%, and then endurance plus 50%. Or sorry, 50% recovery. 50% is high. That's not typical. That's not typical at all. Yeah, UI Goku's 30. I'm pretty sure Evolution Blue Vegeta is also 30. Yep. Yeah, so Frieza just gets more healing. So Frieza's endurance activates and he just gets 50% health back instead of 30. I'm pretty sure typically it is 30. I will just reiterate again, the Krillin, right? Krillin is giving 20% damage guard to Frieza Saga characters, which is going to affect this Frieza. So Frieza with Krillin on team is just getting 220% damage guard just immediately frame 1. Okay, let's move on to the... So I'm trying to juggle like so much stuff at the same time here. Unique ability. Nullify special cover changes when you use a strike or a blast arts. That's the same as Saiyan Saga Vegeta. Frieza also excels at stopping combos. When hit by an arts attack, the enemy's ki will be reduced and their arts cost will be increased by 15. If an enemy uses a big attack, he has buff cancellation. Okay, you'll cancel their buff effects, letting you survive even if a Rising Rush or ultimate arts might normally penetrate endurance. On battlefield entry, draw 1 card if hand has 3 or fewer. Health plus 15. Oh, so every time he's entering the battlefield, he's healing by 15%. 50 ki, nullify damage received element disadvantage. So he's going type neutral defensively for 5 counts. Enemy ki minus 30. On strike / blast arts use, ki plus 10, damage plus 30% for 5 counts. Okay, so he's also stacking damage. Namek Goku stacks damage too. Here's the trade-off. Namek Goku stacks damage 30% for 10 counts. But Frieza has to, like, so okay, but Namek Goku has to land the card. Because I think his said on strike / blast arts like landing on hit. Frieza's just use it. So with Frieza, you can just like use a blast, the enemy vanishes your blast, and then if you get priority on them from there, he'll still have the 30% damage buff. So Frieza just has to use the cards to get the damage. Nullify special cover changes for 5 counts, and then it resets on switch, yeah. Also getting 10 ki for every time he uses a card is pretty good. When hit by enemy arts 1 time, activations reset on switch. Health plus 10%. Ally subcount minus 3. Enemy ki minus 10. That's every time. Oh no, this is all just 1 time. Oops. All enemy arts cost plus 15. All enemy subcounts plus 2. Oh my god, this is so annoying. He's healing. He's lowering his ally subcounts. He's lowering enemy ki. Plus 15 to cost. And he's locking them in for 2 counts. And don't forget this. He's type neutral. And he's lowering ki by 30. So he's lowering ki by 40. right? This plus this. If he cover changes, and he's healing himself. He's healing himself by 25%, right? Because he's healing by 15% when he enters, and then when he takes the actual hit, he's healing 10%. Wow. This is exactly what Powerful Opponent needed too, by the way. Like, they were really missing just a super tank character. When on battlefield, an enemy activates special moves / ultimate / awakened arts or rising rush 3 times. Nullify attribute downgrade / normal conditions. Cancels attribute downgrade / normal conditions. Allies subcount -10, and then cancels buff effects. Yeah. Cover change against strikes. I am going to be very curious to see exactly how much this does. Again, this is probably... How do we want to think about this? Like, is this just going to do as much damage as like a normal blast card? That's probably what we should expect from this. This is probably going to do as much damage as like a normal blast card. That's what I'm going to go into this assuming. It just does as much damage as like a normal blast card. Because its main function is essentially just to be an enhanced long-range green card, but it's a long-range... Essentially what this is a long-ranged green card that does damage that is always available, right? It's essentially a 5th arts card slot. Because it's sitting at the end of your HP bar. Like, it's a separate area. That's actually... So essentially what this is you can't blast card this character ever. You can't blast card this. You can't, if the enemy's using full power Frieza, you can't blast card Frieza. Because you have to assume he's just got this built up, right? I mean, you'll be able to see, right? Beast Gohan has like the little special beam cannon symbol thing. I assume Frieza's going to have a symbol for his death beam, and you should be able to see when he actually has it available. But 40% on this doesn't really feel like it's going to be too bad to get, especially when you're getting... Where's the blast card? You're getting 5% whenever you use a blast card, and every time you fill up the unique gauge, you're getting 30% to the active gauge anyway. Here is the unique gauge fill up that he's getting with the green. Outside of this, I don't think he's getting unique gauge from anywhere else, right? Unique gauge. Let me just double check. Oh, they actually made a mistake here. This is an error. It says charge the unique gauge on activation. This should be charges the active gauge on activation. Right, because it says up here. Active gauge fills over time and when you use a blast arts. Yeah, so they actually made a mistake. Actually made a mistake on this. This should say active gauge here, not unique gauge. Yeah, charge the unique gauge with the green card. Main ability charges it. So yeah, it's just through the green card and the main ability. But yeah, this is going to be what I'm really interested in seeing is how does this death beam really like play out? But he seems very good. Seems like a really disrupty style character, which again, I think the reason why they did this is just because it really is an homage to the original Full Power Frieza, the original non-LF yellow Full Power Frieza. But he seems really good to me. He seems like a good two-way character. He's going to be good defensively, and he's going to be good offensively, and he's going to be good to just get priority with the active gauge. Is it going to be a long animation? I don't know. There's a lot of testing we're going to have to do. I think this Frieza, for me, is going to be a character that's going to require a lot more testing than Goku. Goku seems like a much more generic, easy-to-use character. AoE green. He's got like an AoE indestructible mechanic. Frieza seems like a character that's going to take a little bit more getting used to, but I feel like if you get the hang of his death beam mechanic, it's going to be really hard to just fight this character because you just can't ever... Whenever you're fighting a character that has a long-range green card, if you just go for like a blast at full screen, like you misplayed. You can't just blast card against characters that have long range green cards because they're just gonna hit you with it. So it's gonna be very difficult to initiate against this character. So we will see, but I think he should fit pretty well on Powerful Opponent. He's obviously gonna fit well on LOE. I don't know how good LOE will actually be, just because I feel like they need more than just one good character here. We did get this guy. He's pretty good. this Frieza. But like, who are we using as our third character? Goku and Frieza, Ultra Golden Frieza. We need like one more here. The good thing about LOE, actually, no, wait, I forgot about this guy. This guy's getting a unique equip. This guy plus unique equip full power Frieza plus ultra full power Frieza. I don't know. Maybe we're doing something here. And then eventually Cooler's gonna get his Zenkai. And then don't forget this guy on the bench. Well, I guess if we're running that build, would we even use this guy on the bench? The reason why is just because you get an extra blue card with this guy on the bench. Finally, this guy's Zenkai is relevant. This guy buffs green LOE with his Zenkai ability. Green LOE. So we run like this guy on bench. We run... I have to think about it. Maybe we run the OG full power Frieza on bench to double Zenkai buff this guy. Because this guy has permanent endurance penetration. Then we have a revival character. It could be something. We'll see. But you guys can let me know what you think of Ultra Full Power Frieza. He seems pretty interesting to me. Definitely seems like the more unique of the two characters, but Goku seems pretty cool. He has the new mechanic, the KO guard mechanic. But I like the direction they're going with these characters. These guys don't seem to have like the package, what I like to call it. Like, oh, they have... I mean, this guy does have buff removal, but like the buff removal and like all this, it's basically like the same few abilities every single time. It looks like they're actually trying to give these guys a bit more of a unique twist, which is definitely nice. But yeah, Full Power Frieza seems really, really interesting. I'm very excited to test out both these characters, and I will see you guys in the next one.